day I die. Hey, swing those hips around. Can't stop, roll back down. My ladies, short, tall, thin or wide, always down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Whether you're ready or not, time for it all. Break free of history. This train is racing straight ahead. No man can do like I can. I'm the queen of the land. Haters gonna hate. Won't be sorry now. Shoot me down, but I'll rise again. I'm laying down the law, and you've been served. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Whether you're ready or not, time for a girl on time. Whether you're ready or not, time for a girl on time.
Hi everyone, welcome in. It is another Tuesday edition. I am glad you are all here. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat. I see that we had Judy Neighbors, welcome in. Carrie Quilts is here. Nanette the Firm Her Quilter. I love that name, Nanette. And Susan is here. Welcome in everybody. I'm glad you guys are here. In case my dog goes barking like crazy, we have something on the way. And if they knock on the door or ring the doorbell, the dog will go bonkers. So just remember, the dog is here tonight and he might bark. That is small potatoes in the grand scheme of things, but it might happen. Hey Judy, welcome in, welcome in. So I promised you we are going to do something different tonight, and that is exactly what we're going to do. I was going to possibly work on Echoes some more. I really need to. I actually moved Echoes and put it on my ironing table for right now so that I could pull out something different for you guys. Do you ever get that wild hair idea where you just really need to do something? Hey Chloe, welcome in. You just get that idea where you got to do something different. Or you get this idea of, hey, this would be really awesome. Let's do this instead of the 15 other projects that I need to be doing. Me, I'm guilty. I'm definitely guilty. Because that is exactly what we're doing tonight. I have a lot of other projects I need to be working on. I have a quilt I started loading on the frame today. That is a whole other debacle because the machine is down yet again. So yeah, we are not happy with the frame and the machine at the moment. It's mostly the machine, not really the frame. It's the machine. So we're just having a day. We're having a day. So I wasn't gonna pull. Oh, Judy is guilty. Yes. Hey Mona, welcome in. She says howdy howdy y'all. Oh, Nanette's like, not me. Yeah, I know, right? It is crazy. It is crazy. So there is a random thing that I'm going to pull up. Let me get my my other window going so that I can get it showing what I want to show you guys. Let me swap it over. It's a lot of computer stuff. Hey, Joan, welcome in, and congratulations, by the way. Congratulations. All right, so I am going to go pull this over, and let's see if I can make it smaller so you guys can see it a little bit better in the full glory. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Let me get this set. Yeah, I gotta love computers, right? Computers are sometimes the best and sometimes the worst of things. Let's see. Not touched my sewing machine since Saturday. I'm kind of with you, Susan. I touched my machine. I touched it Friday because I had Kathy and Alicia over. Then, did I even touch a sewing machine Saturday? I don't know if I did or not. Maybe I did, but I don't know that I did. I definitely touched one Sunday, and then I touched one for a little bit last night. So, I got a little bit going, but just not everything I wanted. Let's see. Hey, Rayanne, welcome in. Glad you're here. All right, let me click this and see if I can get it to do exactly what I want it to do. Okay, that's close enough. All right, I'm going to show you guys what we're going to be kind of playing with a little bit. So ignore all the text on the screen. That is not really important for the moment. This panel is what I am showing you. So it is a 250th anniversary special. It's a nation's 250th birthday panel from the Quilts of Valor Foundation. So if you want to get one of these panels, you can go and order one, but every Quilts of Valor leader got one for their group. Well, let's go back so you guys can see me. Because this is where it gets fun. This is where it gets fun. Let's see. Yeah, make sure to love your sewing machine. I agree, Mona. Absolutely. Susan needs to love her sewing machine too. I went to the local quilt shop today. My daughter's pumpkin quilt will be quilted for Christmas. Oh, I bet she is excited. I'm excited for her. And hey, Sherry, welcome in. Glad you're here. Let's see, Susan, I started again today, but Mr. Ripper came to visit way too much, so it's nope, not now. Yeah, believe me, guys, I hear you on that. I am totally in that boat with you right now. I am so beyond frustrated with my machine that's on the frame. Beauty is not behaving. It's a whole deal, and that's as much as I'm going to say about her. So we're going to swap topics. So that panel that I just showed you, that is the panel that I have to work with. And it is off just out of my reach, but there totally had a Mr. Ripper visit today. Oh my gosh, I love the special symbols. I am totally a special symbol person myself. This is Jackie. She is my not so bestest friend, but she does do her job. I just hate having to have her do her job, because then that means I have more work to do in front of me. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, so that panel needs to go into a quilt, and it needs to go into a quilt for a veteran in 2026. So it needs to be awarded in 2026. So I'm getting started a little early on the planning, because the sooner I get something done, the longer I have to worry about the quilting part of it. Oh no, Carrie says, same here, Judy, finally got this block sewn correctly, right? That is totally the deal. It is totally the deal. So here's what I pulled out next. So I was like, okay, I've kind of got an idea of what I want it to look like, and I'm not sure if it's going to work exactly the way I want, but I kind of just have this idea floating around in my head. And yes, I have tried kind of drawing it out, but until I really have either enough time to sit down and do a very detailed drawing, it's never going to look on paper quite the way that I need it to look to know if it's going to work out. So we are going to do a test block. I actually pulled out, it didn't help, oh yeah, oh my gosh, sewing machine tools and project for in the car, oh that makes sense. That totally explains it, Susan. I'm glad you have your car and your sewing machine and everything else back though, because that really stinks when you cannot access your machine. Yeah, that would drive me crazy. Oh no. Oh, one piece out of 32 got turned wrong every time. Oh my gosh, Judy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you guys remember this book, this is Celebrate with Quilts. This is the one that Kathy and I did Land That I Love out of. The nice thing about this book is it has a lot of different sizes for the blocks. And I really didn't want to pull this book out right now. It wasn't really in my plans. I was thinking of a different book, my rotary cutting quilt block book, and that book really only goes down to 4-inch size blocks. And I've got my heart set, they're going to be 3-inch size blocks. Don't ask me. It's what I've got going in my head, and it's kind of what I rough draft worked out on paper. So we're going with 3-inch blocks. Oh, I agree, Mona. Blessings for the car and stuff, yes. Okay, so the nice thing about this book is it does go down to 3-inch blocks. So I went through this entire book today looking at all of the different blocks in this book. And I picked out 2 different possible blocks. There's the Dandy Star, and then, what's the name of the other one? It's closer to the end of the blocks, the Weather Vane block. So I kind of like set my heart on either of those 2 blocks. But the Weather Vane block has pieces A through G, and the Dandy Star block, I would have simplified it down. So it would have been, instead of A through E, it would have been skipping piece C. Like, it would have been I would have made some adjustments. But then I got to thinking, the Dandy Star blocks are 8-point stars. I didn't want 8-point stars in this quilt. So we're going to try a 5-point star block tonight. And I went to, I'll get back to that, hang on just a second. Joan says, thanks Sammy, aw, yay. Is the quilt in the quote rough? Yes. It did take the scenic route. Oh, they always take the scenic route, right? Yes, the Which Direction or Choose a Direction quilt that I entered into the Wyoming State Fair and got 2nd place. Joan put in an offer for that quilt. She won the quilt, and so she now has the quilt. I'm so excited for her. I'm so excited. Okay, so what I did, if you have electric quilt, I went into electric quilt and I went looking for a 5-point star block. Do you know I couldn't find one? Now that doesn't mean that there's not one in there. It just means that I couldn't find it in the 10 minutes I allowed. Yay! Judy has tried again, right? I love that. Judy, you have a raffle ticket for April. Congratulations. Yeah, we do have a Super Chat raffle started, guys. So that is for April 14th. So you are getting tickets for April 14th. So if you want to get a Super Chat in tonight, by all means, get that Super Chat in. And I know I'm talking a lot. We are going to sew. I promise we are going to sew. So I went into EQ, could not find a 5-point star. There you go. Susan's getting in on it too. Yay! Raffle ticket for Susan. I love it. Thank you guys. You are rocking me out. So I went looking and I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. So I went in to kind of draw my own block because I'm like, I know what a 5-point star looks like. So this should be pretty easy, right? And I get in there and I drew it, and I drew it on a 4-inch grid. And I'm like, no, I gotta fix this. One thing worked right for me today. I went back in, just changed the numbers to 3-inch for width and height. And so we have a sample to test out. So EQ, I printed foundation papers. So if you guys have never used EQ, you can always use EQ to print out foundation papers for a block if that's what you're wanting to do. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to try my haphazard 5-minute drawing of a 5-point star, and we're going to try it in white and red because we're going to see if that will work for me. We're just going to test one block, and if it doesn't work, no big deal. I have one more little orphan block. But if it does work, then we're golden. So what I've done, hey Candace, welcome in. A bit dreary here. Oh no, I hate dreary weather. I hate it. It's not been that pretty here either today. It hasn't been bad, but it just hasn't been happy news. Yes, Judy, you do need to practice. EQ is fun, but you definitely have to practice with it a lot to get the hang of it, especially if you struggle with technology. And then you have to practice with it every so often to keep your skills up. Hey Joyce, welcome in. Welcome. Glad you're here. Now, I will say this. Once you get the hang of EQ, it's kind of like riding a bike. It's not going to be that hard to get back on the bike and keep going. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So what I did is that paper that I showed you guys, I traced it onto freezer paper. So this is freezer paper. So this is the matte side, the not shiny side. And of course, here's the shiny side. You can kind of see that reflection in the light. Hey Joe, welcome in. Good evening to you. Welcome, welcome. So I have my add a quarter. I would normally, because this block is only 3 inches small, or 3 inches big, or whatever you want to call it, 3 inches gifted, I don't care. I would normally do 1/8 of an inch, but because this is going to a veteran who will want to obviously wash this quilt regularly, I'm going to go up to the full 1/4 inch, and I think we'll be okay. Some of these pieces are going to have a lot of fabric behind them because of the extra, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Eating homemade pecan pancakes, and you didn't bring enough for me. I am so jealous. You are allowed, but I am still jealous. All right. So here's what I do with freezer paper. Because I've already traced this pattern out, and this is not how this whole project is going to go. If I am doing all of the stars I'm going to do, I'm going to retrace or like copy that pattern and fit as many onto a sheet of paper as I can, and then I'm going to use my special wash away paper, foundation papers, because I do not have the time to freezer paper the whole thing in the amount of time I want to get this done in. So, but we're going to start with this. We are going to start with this. Yes, absolutely yum. I'm so jealous. I love pecans. I had beef pot pie for dinner. Oh, that sounds good too. I actually have crustless chicken pot pie in the freezer for me for sometime this week. And then I am going to be cooking chili for this weekend. So we're going to see how I can do with chili. We're just going to see. Alright, so I'm going to layer my fabric or my paper onto my fabric on the back side. I want to make sure that the right side is out. That is always the way you do your first paper. Whether you are doing regular paper piecing or you are doing freezer paper piecing, whatever piecing like that, you want to put the first piece with the fabric, the wrong side of the fabric to the wrong side of the paper. You want to put that in place. I've got fresh cinnamon crumb cake just out of the oven. Yes, Carrie, duh, yeah, come on. It's gonna be cold by the time you get it here, but oh, it would be good. I would Willy Wonka you a couple if I could. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? Oh my gosh. If that thing actually worked and got the chocolate bar from one place to another, and the pecan pancakes and the cinnamon crumb cake, bourbon salmon, oh my goodness. You guys are eating really good. You're eating really good tonight. Alright, because I have plenty of fabric, I'm going to go ahead and lay my next piece, because I've got I've got 3 different sections to this block. Now, one thing with EQ is it will automatically section your paper piecing. If you do not like your automatic paper piecing sections, or you don't think it's going to work for you, just tell EQ you're going to do it yourself. It is not hard to change. So if we've got time, if you guys want me to, I will show you how I did this. Like, I will open EQ and show you what I got and how it works and all of that. It is EQ8, so if you have an older version, things might be a little different. If you have a newer version, things might be a little different. Most of it should be about the same. EQ doesn't tend to change a whole lot of like the basic functions between versions. So just keep that in mind. It'll be a little bit different. Yes, I know. Joe says, all y'all's food sounds yummy. I know, right? And while I'm thinking about it, the pinned message up at the top, guys, is that the retreat link is in the description box. So if you have not signed up for November's retreat, which is this upcoming weekend, and you would like to do so, go into the description box and click the link to sign up. And it is 100% free. So if you have not attended one of my Zoom retreats before, make sure that you attend one. You will have an absolute blast, and you will love meeting all of these familiar names as faces. Hey Zaza, welcome in. Yeah, you'll love meeting all of these wonderful names that you're used to as an actual face. So it is fantastic. Alright, so all I've done is I have cut my pieces apart so that I have my fabric just fused to that waxy side. Okay, that's all I've got done. It starts at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning and runs through 7 p.m. On Sunday evening. So it starts 6 a.m. Saturday, yes, making sure I said Saturday. It starts 6 a.m. Saturday and runs through 7 p.m. On Sunday. Now those are all Mountain Standard Time zones, so you have to adjust a little bit for that. The email for that, yes, we do. So Carrie says, join us, we have fun together. We do, we have so much fun. The email will go out Friday night late after the Fantastic Fridays with Sean from The Guy Who Sews. So we have changed his schedule. He's not going to be joining me on Sundays because of his work schedule. And we are going to hang out on one Friday a month. It's going to be the third Friday. So this is the third Friday coming up. So he's going to hang out with me 8 to 10 p.m. or at least starting at 8 p.m. on Friday night. And so after that live is done, then I will send you guys your emails. So you'll still have a chance to sign up through then. Saturday night I mixed up a batch of Russian tea and hot chocolate mix. Last night I made a double batch of Chex Mix, rump roast, and mashed taters for Sunday dinner. You guys, so much food. Oh my gosh. Judy says she can't wait to join everyone, right? Made chicken bone broth for my sister Sunday morning. Oh my gosh. You gotta add that one in there too, right? You had a ton of food. Let's see. Sherry says she's sure she filled in the form. I can go check. Yes, you are on there, Sherry. Yes, you did fill that out. You are fantastic. You rock. You rock. You absolutely rock. Okay, so next to all of these white, I am sewing a red. So I am just going to take my red fabric and just bring it over. When you are doing a lot of paper piecing like this, there is nothing wrong about chain piecing. So if you've never seen someone chain piece with foundation paper piecing or freezer paper piecing or paper piecing, this is what I do. This is absolutely what I do. Now I am going to decrease my stitch length to, we're going to go about 1.5 because I'm not including the paper with it. So it's not that big of a deal, but I'm going to stitch right next to my paper. So I'm not going to stitch on the paper itself. I'm going to stitch right next to it. And I'm going to stitch the whole length of right next to it. Like, I'm not worried. I've got spare fabric. So should I accidentally stitch, you know, have a little bit of extra here and there that I have to cut off, that is okay because my deadline goal is more important than conserving every last piece of fabric. I have to cook this week so that I don't have to during retreat. There you go. There you go. I'm going to be starting some crock pot chili. Let's see, I've got to start it probably Thursday because I'll start the beans and then, yeah, I'll probably start my start working on the chili on Thursday. That way it is done for Saturday morning. And I don't have to rush trying to get it done. So I'm going to put my needle down in the fabric, and then I'm going to line up the next piece. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing. We're just going to keep adding. I've only got these 3 pieces for this block, but I want to make sure that they work out before I do a whole lot of them. I don't want to do the number I need to do for this quilt without like testing them first. Alright, now I'm going to fold the extra paper out of the way for that one, because I still have one more piece to get on here, and I'm going to trim off some extra. I'm just going to rough cut trim. I'm not worried about it. So, do you guys already have your projects lined up for retreat this weekend? Because there's going to be so much time. There's 35 hours to work on projects. Russian tea, Tang is Tang, Lipton tea with lemon, turbinado sugar, Ceylon cinnamon, cloves, and a pinch of nutmeg. Oh, that actually sounds really good. I don't like Tang, but I think in combination with everything else, it's probably very delicious. Oh, you really need to like, what'd you call it? Willy Wonka it. You really need to Willy Wonka that over to me. Oh, Judy's neighbor says she's got her projects picked out. Good deal. Good deal. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just fold my papers over because it's not going to matter. Now my fabrics are right sides together, so I've got the pretty side up as I'm doing this, and when I fold them over, it's going to fold over beautifully. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to fold it over, and on this middle one, there's the dog. Gary says they still sell Tang, right? I know. Thank you, bud. The doorbell rang finally. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Just didn't know exactly when. It's like one of those, like, death and taxes. You always know death is coming, but you never know when. Like taxes, you kind of know when, but you never know how much. Yeah, that's the thing with the dog. We know he's going to bark, we just don't know exactly when. Carrie, yes they do. Got it at my local grocery store. Ooh. I don't know that I've seen Tang at my grocery store either. So I would have to look too. You're not alone. You're not alone. Hey Barbara, welcome in. Barb's husband loves hot Tang in the winter. Oh my gosh. Oh, absolutely, Susan. She says time to go. Have a great evening. Have a great evening yourself. Enjoy. Enjoy. Alright, so you can probably see a little bit on this camera. I'm not sure how good, but I'm just basically folding these over, and we're just going to press this freezer paper down, and it is going to hold our pieces in place for us. I'm making sure on this middle piece that kind of hangs over a little bit that I'm not getting too awfully close to it, because I don't want to melt some of the waxy side when I don't need to. Alright, now that the kids are at the house, I haven't thought about, no, neither have I. I have not thought about Tang in I don't know how long. That's crazy. You brought something back to us. You really brought something back to us, Joe. The project that I'll be working on depends on what I get done in the next couple of days. There you go. I'm kind of the same way. I have got a couple of different projects I need to do, and I just don't know which one it's going to be as to which one I'm going to work on. I've got more than a couple. I have more than a couple. There is a ton of projects I need to do. I just got to decide which one is going to take precedence. Okay, so I use my add a quarter ruler, and I know that this camera is not picking up, like it's picking up extra light too. But what I did is I went ahead and folded it over, and was able to use my add a quarter ruler to just trim it away. So the others are still sitting over there, and the next piece on this is going to be white. So I'm going to rough cut this extra piece off, because I just don't need it. I don't want it hanging around for me. And then this piece will go to white for the next piece. The last piece will also be that way, but this second piece here is going to be red. So I'm going to again use my add a quarter ruler, and because this entire piece is going to foundation paper piecing projects, I'm not worried about doing the extra cut like that. And I'm actually going to do it this way. I'm going to flip my ruler over, and you guys can tell me how good you can see this, because I can't tell for sure. I'm just going to trim off some of the extra, and now I have a smaller piece of red to work with. Now this does have selvage on it. I just avoid the selvage as I'm sewing. That is all I'm doing. I plan on quilting one of the tops if I can get it sandwiched before then, so we'll see what happens. There you go. Oh, you're fine, you're fine. Joan is doing the dishes, so she's going to do lurking, which is okay. Is absolutely okay. And then let's see. Tomorrow I'm going to figure out the plan for a retreat. There you go. I can't figure mine out until probably tomorrow evening. I think that's when I can kind of figure out what my project's going to be. I know what I'm doing Friday with Sean, so that's like already set. I'm not worried about that because that's kind of a project I'm going to finish before I get into another project. Sort of. I'm going to work on it once a month for a while. Alright, and that goes to white as well. Okay. So I have one that still has red to go on, and the rest are just getting white added to them. I'm glad I marked what everything does. I'm really glad I marked it. Alright, so I'm going to set the red off to the side, because that one's going to use nothing but red. That's going to finish out in red the whole way. And I could actually, I can piece that in one piece. Huh, small victories, right? Okay, I horse trade with my sister a 54-inch table runner for a ruler fit, so I may play with that. Oh, I like that idea, Joe. Hey, Gladys, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. So you are welcome too as well. If you want to join the retreat this weekend, you are more than welcome to join the retreat. Just go click the link in the description box, and Google Forms will take your information and it will send it to me so I can email you on Friday night. Super late. It'll be super late, but it'll still be in plenty of time. Alright, so I'm going to put this one on here. Let me see where I need to put the other one. See, okay, the other one's going the other direction. I'm going to put it closer to the edge. We're going to play a little bit of fabric chicken. We're going to make sure we salvage as much as we can of the fabric, just because I want to. Oh, there we go. I can put it 2 different directions. We'll do it that way. We'll do it that way. Alright. Now the thing I do love about foundation paper piecing with freezer paper is that once I am done piecing it, then I don't have to worry about ripping paper out. All I have to do is pull it away. So I might actually cut, I don't know, I might cut sheets of freezer paper and feed them through my printer too. That might be the other option too. Joe is looking forward to the retreat. Yes, it is. And the retreat is so much fun. The retreats are awesome. Because, I mean, where else do you get to virtually hang out with all the people you are spending so much time with every week with, following around on the YouTube channels? You know, you get to spend it, you know, not having to chase us down, and you actually get to see faces and hear voices. So it works so wonderfully. So wonderfully. So at least now I know I can go in and pull a line out of that other. So I may show how to do that as well. If we can, we will see. Because I didn't think about that when I drew it originally. So we'll see what I can do. We will see what I can do. Alright. So this is going to be a long piece. Alright, it doesn't fit there, but it does fit there. Yes. I can make that fit because there's my edge. Okay, yep. I can see it. I promise. You guys meant to be able to see it, but I can see it. And that's what's important at the moment, because I gotta be able to see it to trim it here in a minute. Alright. And we actually have all of this sewn, aside from sewing the 3 pieces together now. So this was literally everything we had to do this 5-point star. So 3 seams per unit, which makes it really, really fun. Yes, thirsty for a child, yes. Absolutely. He is sometimes really funny about it, and he will wait until we are eating before he will even touch his food. Like, he will just flat out, he's not willing to eat unless we are eating. And then there's other times like this where, you know, he's just, okay, I'm bored, y'all are not paying any attention to me, so I'm going to go do X, Y, Z. Like, he definitely has his moments like that. If this is as easy as this is going to be with just 3 seams per block, then I think this is a winner. I mean, even if just a 3-inch size, I think this might be a winner. Oh, thank you, Joyce. She says she shared the live. Thank you. And guys, we are getting closer to 1,000. We have finally stepped up the game, and we are getting a little bit closer. So every time you guys share the channel, you share a video, anything like that, it really does help, because somebody is going to come find me because you shared it. Oh, thank you. Yes. Joyce says she paid the rent. She got the thumbs up for me. She's like, hope you all did too. She is throwing down the gauntlet. She's not even hiding it. She's just like, I did. Your turn. I love it, Joyce. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. It does mean a lot. It does mean a lot. Now, one thing that I get away with foundation paper piecing that some people don't is I can use steam. I don't use it all the time, but I do use steam on my foundation paper piecing, and with freezer paper I do as well. I'm just very careful. I don't use a whole lot of it, and I use just enough to get it to do exactly what I want it to do. That's all I use it for. Oh, good. Chloe says she did too. Yay. Yay. And I did pre-starch my fabrics too, if that plays into any of this. I did pre-starch them. Awesome. Chloe and Judy are saying that they did. Yay. Y'all are rocking me out. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. A thumbs up before I start chatting so I don't get distracted and forget. Now, I think, hands down, that is the best spelling for distracted that I have ever seen. I love it. I love it. If you can ever do that again for me, I would absolutely appreciate it, because that's going to make me laugh and giggle. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, so I did put the seam lines on the outside edges. So just like the EQ drawing, I did do that. So I'm going to trim all along where those lines are. And I'm going to ditch my add a quarter for this because I like it, but it's yellow and it's a little bit hard, especially with my pink glasses. It's a little bit harder for me to see through it. So I'm going to use a clear ruler because that is just so much easier. And I don't have to guess if I am trimming exactly where I need to trim. And anything that is smaller than an inch square does go into my bucket for scraps. We'll add to the hoards. Yes, we need to add to the hoards. We've got to add to the hoards. I love crazy wonky things. My Secret Santa sent me my November installment of our Secret Santa deal. So I got that today. I have a magic potion jar now. I love it. I got more Halloween fabric. I got tons of patterns. She gave me tons of patterns, guys. And some amazing, fantastic fabric to go with it. So I'm super excited. I can't wait till I get to play with some of it. I messed up with 2 foundation paper piecing blocks this weekend. I purchased Layla Gardunia Scrappy Mountains FPP pad. Oh my gosh. I have screwed up with foundation paper piecing before, and let me tell you, I know that anxiety when you screw up with it, because there's just no easy fix all the time. And it is so heartbreaking because you're like, I put all this work in it. Destructive much, I know, right? Oh. Okay. Distractorated. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? Hang on. I cannot let this go because that is gonna. I've got to put that in my autocorrect now. So, you are going in my autocorrect. Okay. Thank you. I've got to have that one. So, yes, it is exciting. She sent me another cauldron. Not like I needed more, but I do love them. Just a little plastic cauldron, and she sent me probably a good 2 yards of fabric plus scrap fabric too that's Halloween and spooky. She sent me some Christmas. She sent me some license plate fabric. Guys, she's rocking. She's rocking. And some of the stuff she sent me, I'm just like, okay, I know I put a lot of this in my, like, about me thing, but either she really actually knows me in real life, or she read every single word of what I wrote. And I'm astounded. It's so nice when you have someone that is, you don't know who they are, but they are paying that much attention to what you want. It is amazing to have that. It is a learning curve. Oh yeah. Okay, so ripping out foundation paper piecing. Don't rip on the paper side. Go to the fabric side. If you can get your seam ripper in, let me show you. If you can get your seam ripper in on the fabric side of your pieces and rip from this side, while you hold everything down on the table, just gently like slide your ripper in there. That's why I love my blade one, because the blade I can get up underneath there. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to hear you say that, Joe. I'm gonna have to hear it now. But if you can get that seam ripper just underneath that fabric edge, that's the way that I rip paper piecing without ripping the paper. I don't try to pull it away from the paper at all to do it, just because that never tends to work for me. And I don't know where the dog went this time. Sir, what are you doing? Okay, we're okay. We're chewing our leg. That is okay. We can handle that. Absolutely, Trish says, be right back. Absolutely. I am just trimming these up. And again, we are going to go to EQ tonight, I think. I think we're going to have time to go to EQ and take a look at how that works, how EQ works to do something like this. Because this was literally a put together in 5 minutes kind of thing, because I didn't have it ready already. Alright, now any paper or any pieces that have freezer paper on them, I am pulling the freezer paper off if it's scrap that's going in my bucket, because I don't put freezer paper or any kind of other paper products in there, because I know it's going for the dogs. What about taping the paper before you rip it on the fabric side? That's another good idea, yes. So, yes, Judy, fantastic idea. If you can use painter's tape, fantastic, great way to do it. I don't tend to use Scotch tape, because when you go to sew through Scotch tape, it will gum up your needle a little bit. Painter's tape does not tend to do that. So I do tend to use painter's tape for that. That's a really good catch, G. I had not even thought about that, but I have done that in the past. But again, freezer paper, or not freezer paper, painter's tape, so much better than Scotch tape for that. Alright, now I got a little piece that's got freezer paper on it that is too small. I'm not going to try to fool with it. So all my freezer paper is going to one side, and all my fabric is going to one. So that way I've got them separated so I don't accidentally mix them up. Alright, last piece to trim. Now that I'm talking with my hands, or maybe paper tape. Oh, that would work too. I just don't have any. Most people tend to have like painter's tape on hand for tools and working, like garage level, stuff, or like painting rooms or something. So a lot of people tend to have that. But yes, if you have paper tape, give it a try. Give it a try. I have not tried that. I have done Scotch tape and I've done painter's tape. Those are the two that I have done. And again, I don't like using Scotch tape for it. It really will hold the paper. I will say it that way. It does hold the paper. But when you go to stitch through it, it gums up your needle a little bit. And then it feels icky to me. And I think that's because I just get this feeling like it's going to age or yellow on me before I can get it done. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's psychological. I don't know. But I just don't like it that way. I like paper first aid. Carrie, that is genius. I love that. Paper first aid tape. Yes. I can't use the like plastic Band-Aid stuff. So I do have paper first aid tape. That is genius. It's expensive, but it's genius compared to painter's tape. Okay, so I've got all 3 pieces done. Okay, so I'm going to lay them out so that I know for sure that I'm putting them in the right order. And I believe that is the right order. Let's see. Let me swap these two and see if that looks better. Okay, that looks better. That looks more like what I drew. Okay. Alright. So what I'm going to do, because this is freezer paper, I am going to come back and I'm going to peel up just my seam allowance and fold it on my seam allowance. I was going to say that I have paper tape in my med supplies. Yeah. I can see how that would be fantastic. I just don't know price-wise, like if it's, I feel like paper tape, the medical paper tape is going to be more expensive than painter's tape. But you know, if it's midnight and every place is closed and you are trying to get something sewn, I'm not going to judge you for using it, even if it's the most expensive option there is. Yeah. Who am I? Who am I to judge? So yeah, use it. Use it. Alright. This is the only part I don't like, is the peeling the freezer paper up to have the seam allowances exposed, or to have this last part exposed. This is the only part I don't enjoy, but I didn't pre-fold this, so it would have made it easier if I pre-folded. It was worth it for me because if I'm paper piecing, I'm doing small intricate piecing and I don't use it often. There you go. That works. That works. Alright, and Puppy has brought a toy back here again. I was trying to keep him from bringing toys in here. Just making sure it still looks the right way. Okay. So, if you are a pinner, if you are the type to pin, now is the time to pin. But the nice thing with EQ, if you trim off the little dog ear sections at the edges, like it has, drawn on the seam allowances that it prints out for you, you will be set because it's going to line up perfectly. And my machine is trying to eat my thread, so bear with me. There we go. I think I got it going. We're gonna see. We're going to see. But yeah, I have not even thought about that medical tape. That's ingenious. That is absolutely ingenious. Alright. Oh yeah, it ate my thread. Lots and lots of thread. Okay. Let's make sure it's still sewn. I'm going to trim away the extra thread. And we're going to see if it's still sewn. We're just going to see. Alright. And I'm going to test my seam to see if it stays, and it stays, so we're still good. So I just trimmed out some of the stuff that it can't get a hold of. Alright. So we now have this much sewn. Alright, so now to sew the other side, or press away and sew the other side. Alright. Who else hates pressing, or hates the folding paper part? I think I need to give Mr. Siberian Wind a task one night and just have a whole bunch of papers for him to fold on the lines, and just tell him to fold everything. Like, fold it towards the side that you're looking at with the line on it, but just fold it for me. Who wants to bet that he'll do it? I wonder if he'll do it for me. Because that's not pressing fabric. I like that tape because I can retrace the sew line and see it better than on painter tape. Okay, that's not a bad idea then. That's a good point. That's a good point, because I could see that tracing better than painter's tape. I just know that I have painter's tape in my studio. That's what I think also why I gravitate towards it, because I always have it. I hate tearing out the paper after sewing. See, I'm not going to have to tear it. That's the nice thing. I'm just going to have to pull the paper away, but it's not going to have to be torn. It is not going to have any of that hassle. So that's a really nice thing about using freezer paper for this, is that you don't have to tear it. Or, yeah, you don't have to tear it afterwards. There's just no tearing. You're sewing right next to that line, but it's staying on my fabric plenty. Oh, welcome back, Joyce. Welcome back. No, sir. Okay. We have been having a fight. Mr. Powell and I have been having a fight. He keeps wanting to get underneath my camera right here, this one, and I keep telling him not to. And so we have not agreed on where he can be, but we have agreed that he cannot be where it is he wants to be. Okay, this will work. So this is the star. Isn't that cute? My drawing is horrible, but that will work. That will work. I will have a 1/4 inch on the top and bottom and sides. This might be eaten up a little bit, but I might not have sewn all the way to the seam allowance, but I can always go back over it show me to. Alright, so we're ready to rip the paper off. And, okay, I did accidentally catch it. Oops. Okay, but it's that simple. It is literally that simple. So now that I'm pulling the paper off, it is just coming off in piece to each. And because it's freezer paper, I can now reaffix this to the next fabric. So it is ready to use again. See, I'm not sure I want to do freezer paper this time because for all of these, because I'm going to want to chain piece the whole batch of them. And I can't do that if I've got to do like in like batches of 4 or batches of, 25 or whatever, because I've got a ton to do. I have got a ton to do. So I think I'm just going to print all of them on the foundation paper piecing paper that I have, that I've stockpiled for forever, that I have not used. I think I'm just going to do it on that, because then it won't be that hard to rip out because there's not that many pieces in this. But if you have a very, detailed paper piecing, then that would be when it's an issue. Alright, so I'm going to press my seams open on the final 2 seams, sewing the block together. But now we have a 5-point star. Alright, so I promised you guys, let's go into EQ. How does that sound? Do you guys like that idea? Let me turn this off so I'm not distracted. I need to try the freezer paper for smaller parts. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, guys, this is just maybe 4-inch square or something, maybe 5-inch square of freezer paper that I used for this. I buy it at Walmart. I don't know why it's backwards on the camera. There we go. I should go buy it at Walmart. And I still have a ton of this roll left. Rip it good, right? I know. Where's Mona? We rip it and so on. I love it. But yeah, this works fantastic. And this is the 100 square feet box. It's 18 inches long. I went for the 18 inches one because sometimes when you're doing foundation paper piecing, your pieces will be longer than the typical 12 inches that you might get otherwise, or the 8.5 by 11, all of that. Hey Jean, welcome in. Glad you're here. All right, okay, perfect. So let's pull up EQ. Let me get my let me get my studio set room going. That way I can pull this and show you guys. We're going to start at the home page. Okay, so let me grab you guys and get you where you can see what I'm doing, and we'll go from there, because I like that idea. I like being able to show you guys what I did and how I did it. Okay, I'm going to transition over so you guys will hear me, but you'll see the screen, okay? All right, so I may not be able to see your comments until after we're done. Let me see. You know what? Let me see what this does. Bear with me, guys. I should be able to still see the comments. Let me see what this does to you, what you guys are seeing. Okay, you guys are still seeing it. There's a little bit of window up above what you guys are seeing. Let me see if I can adjust that, because I want you to be able to see everything that I'm seeing that you need to be able to see for this, because I want it to be as close to your screen as possible. There we go. Let me update that. There we go. All right. So when you're working with EQ, this is the home screen where it's get started. Of course, again, this is EQ8. Remember that if you have a different version, it's going to be different. What I do for a project like this is I design a quilt from scratch. You can also start with a quick quilt project, so if you're looking for a random project to do, or you've worked with an existing project, or you've worked with a project before and you want to go back to it, that's where that existing project is going to be. You can also design a block from scratch, and you can search for block patterns. Now, that's probably where I needed to go, but is that where I went? No, of course not. I designed a quilt from scratch, okay? This is telling me that my work table quilt, the one I was working with to get here tonight, is not in the sketchbook. I am not going to add it, okay? Because I can always redo it. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so it automatically comes out with this horizontal layout. For working with just one block and editing just one block, designing just one block, I don't care about all of the others. I go up here to the top where it has new quilt and layout, borders, design, and print and export. I go to layout, and I go down here and I decrease the number of blocks in the row and the vertical, horizontal and vertical. I decrease that all the way to 1. And I sometimes do odd blocks where they're not the same height and width, but this time I am. So keep height and width equal, and then I'm going to drag this slider down. If you want a little bit more control, which I usually do, I just go over here and type. And I'm just going to type 3 and hit enter. And of course it kind of hangs out there, but that's keeping the height and width equal on the block. And it automatically adds extra room around your quilt block to add a border. So this extra that you're seeing around this block is a border. I don't want a border. I'm not going to deal with it today. So I'm going to go to my borders and I'm going to hit delete. Now if you have, like if you want to add different borders, you absolutely can. You can add as many different kinds of borders as you want. So like if I wanted to add multiple different borders to this design, I can just come up here, select a different border style, and I just add a border and then do that. So I don't need them, so I'm going to go ahead and hit delete, so we don't need all of that. And so I'm just going to go over to design. So this is my entire quilt, and if I just want to pick one block, let's say this one, this variable star, it's EQ default variable star. If I want that block in my quilt, and that's the only block I want, and I want it 3 inches squared, I'm just going to click on it and then click into the box for it. But you know what? That's not what I'm doing. I did go in and I opened the library, and I have my Dear Jane add-ons as well. I kind of browsed through them a little bit. But you can look at your foundation paper pieced blocks. So they have a lot of alphabet ones in here. This one is the ribbon. There's a Hebrew alphabet, a Greek alphabet, a funky alphabet, which is always kind of fun, and then a basic alphabet that has capital and lowercase letters and special symbols as well. So you can always go through and look at the different blocks that they've got. But again, none of these are what I was looking for. I was looking for a star, and I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I went ahead and closed that out. And then up here at the top, you've got block tools, fabric tools, photo tools, text and embroidery, and auto borders. Those are all grayed out because they don't apply to this quilt block yet. So there's a quilt work table, and that's what we're looking at right now. We're going to erase my block that's in there, and I'm going to go to this block work table that's up here. And oh, it's already got my block that I drew. So let me go in. We can always redraw this. I am not worried about it. I can always adjust it a little bit. So let's do, you know what? I don't think I have worked with, oh, there we go, new block up here at the top. So we can do pieced and applique, and create serendipity, whatever that means. I have not played with that yet. And I just went in here to easy draw, and so it is on a 3-inch block right now, but what I actually started with today was a 4-inch block. So it's showing my 4-inch block here, and that gives me a good center because I know 2 inches is going to be equal for the 4-inch block. So I'm going to draw my line from the center down, and we are just going to draw another line from the center to the other corner. And then I'm going to pick a point, and I'm actually going to go a little bit higher this time, and I'm going to draw a line across. That may be too high. I think it is. So I'm going to edit, and I can drag the little blocks down that end my line and just drag them to where I want them. And then I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to add a few new lines. So I'm going to draw this long line here, and we're going to draw this long line here. So that's a good 4-inch block. However, I actually need it to be 3 inches, so I'm going to go in here and go up to this block width and height, and I'm going to change the width to 3, which really skews that star, and then I'm going to change the height also to 3, which fixes it back to kind of the same measurements that I had just a little bit ago. So here's what we're going to do that I didn't do earlier. So this section right down here is fine. That is where I had a white, a red, and a white, and that's perfectly fine. And this top section here is also fine, or this left section, right section is fine. I had also a white, a red, and a white. But this section right here, I needed the white, but then the rest of this in here can be sewn in one piece. So what we're going to do is I'm going to edit my block, or edit my lines. I'm going to draw my line here, and that's about where it landed, and I'm going to add another line to continue that when it comes to paper piecing it. So I don't have the extra printer ink used. And now the next thing, we're going to edit this line right here. Alright, so I'm going to drag this line down, and that's about accurate to where I had it, and we're going to add a new line, and we're going to draw it right here. And it's a little wonky now, but that's okay. So we're going to have white, red, and white. Jean, if you want to go into the description box below the video, that is going to have the link for the Zoom retreat, and that is this upcoming weekend. The link is in the description box. I just put a notice about it up at the top. But the retreat is Saturday and Sunday this weekend. It's going to start at 6 a.m. Mountain Time and end at 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday. So it starts on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and runs through 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday. And it's a lot of fun. It's 35 hours of hanging out and chit-chatting and sewing and quilting and meeting other people. It is an absolute blast. Alright, now I'm going to show you something real quick. As I try to draw this line, drag it, it is snapping back. Okay? It is going to snap to the nearest point. If that is causing issues, there is a link up here, or there's a box up here, and I just hover over. and it says snap to nodes of drawing. I can deselect it, so when it's not highlighted in blue, it's not selected. There you go. Gladys is dropping her link, guys. If you have not checked out Gladys's channel, you can absolutely do so now. Oh, I also have the snap to grid points on the worksheet. And I do have my grid set very deep, so I have a lot of grid on here, but that is my normal, so don't think that yours is going to show like that. This is my normal. Alright, so now this is my new edited block, okay? So I'm going to go up here to the top and I'm going to print and export. So now you see my block, and that's more like how I sewed it. So you can have EQ print out your block. You can use the same size from the work table, custom size. You can have it print the outline drawing, the stencil. You can have it printed as an applique pattern or showing the fabrics. So if you fill in fabrics, it's going to show in as your fabrics. Okay, so this is the print preview of just the block. So if you wanted to audition it, you could just print it out like this. And you can print it out with fabrics or not. It's up to you. If I want to come in here and color it with fabrics, I can do that as well. So I can come in here and drop this random fabric that is beautiful in here. And then I can come and drop random fabric in the background as well to see how it's going to kind of look. So if I wanted to make adjustments to it at this point, that would be what I would want to do, is I'd want to make it at this point. But I like it. I'm not worried about that. So print and export, you can also do templates. So what a template is going to look like, it's going to have an automatic seam allowance of 1/4 of an inch, and it's going to print with a seam allowance. So a template is going to look like this. So I'm going to get 2 pages of printout from EQ, and it's going to show me this template piece here. So this is G, and that is what goes here. So I would rotary cut all of these templates out, and you can actually drag your template pieces onto the same page if you want, as long as there is enough room on that page. And anything that overlaps or goes to the next page, EQ will print both pages, and you just tape them together when you're done. Okay, so that is always one option. I don't do templates like this, but you can. I have done it in the past when I've needed it. This is not one of those times. Alright, so to do the foundation paper piecing, I just go to foundation. And so EQ has now recolored my drawing. So it's going to print me one section here, which is going to be this section right here. And then it wants to give me 1, 2, 3, and 4 on this section. And then it wants to give me 1 and 2 on this section. So I would piece this maroon or rose colored section to the blue and then piece it to the green, which means I have to match my lines, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to come over here, and there's a little checkbox that says I want to section and number myself without EQ's help. So I'm going to check that, and I'm going to hit start over. So I'm going to click the sections that I want to be grouped together, which is not that. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 down here, and I'm going to hit group, 1, 2, and 3 here, and I'm going to group it, and then 1, 2, and 3 here, and I'm going to group that. So those are my 3 sections. So when I go to preview the print, this is how it's going to look now that I've got fabric colored in there. If I take the fabric out, it won't be colored like that. And because I'm doing a lot of different colors, I'm not going to have mine colored. But this is going to give me my 1, 2, and 3 pieces sewn here, 1, 2, and 3 pieces sewn here, and then 1, 2, and 3 pieces sewn here, and then I just attach these 3 sections to each other. So that is absolutely how I do it when I am ready to put quilts together. So I'm going to go back in here to color, and we are going to white out basically. We're going to go to colors, and because it doesn't give me the option really to, oh, we didn't see the grouping? Okay, let me go back. We will do the grouping again. That is fine. That is absolutely fine. Alright, so now I'm going to print and export, and we're going to go to foundation. We couldn't see your grouping? Okay. So this is my grouping, but if you don't have a grouping, we're going to say I want to section. Oh, you know what? Are you guys not seeing that window? You guys aren't seeing that window. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you caught that. Let me see what I can do about that, because that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Okay. Let's do, does it do it there? No, it does not do it there either. Oh, you know what? Let me see if, no, that's not doing it either. Because when it shows up on my screen, it shows me that I can. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? Hang on. Hang on. I will get around this one way or the other. I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I can't believe it's not showing that. I'm so sorry, guys. It is the way my computer software is picking it up. Alright. There we go. We will do that. We will do that. Alright, let me go fix this real quick so that you guys can see it. And let's see. Snipping tool. There we go. Alright. Alright, are you guys seeing it now? Let's see if it is. Is it showing now? I think you have to go through an Infinity setup. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Okay, so what I'm seeing that you guys should be seeing right now is my snipping tool, which is my screenshot of my screen. So when you are, let me see if you guys are seeing my mouse. Are you seeing? Yeah, okay. It's showing me that you guys are seeing my mouse. So when you hit this print button up here, and you, or well, you select the rotary cutting, and then you hit, or well, print and rotary cutting, this box is what comes up. Now, it's going to be labeled whatever it wants to be labeled. I come over here to this little box right here, and I do the I want to section and number myself without EQ's help, and then I click start over. And when I do that, it takes all of these colors away. So initially it had this right here, this section of my blue, this section of my green, and this section of my green colored as one unit. It had this section and this section of my blue labeled as one unit. And then it had the three here in my rose color plus my green as one section as well. So what I did is when I hit start over, I grouped 1, 2, and 3 here in the blue. I grouped 1, 2, 3 here in the green, and then 1, 2, 3 here in the rose color. And EQ automatically colors it for you, but then when you hit preview, it will show you, and it comes out just like what I printed out earlier, except without the extra lines. So I don't have a line here to sew, and I don't have a line here to sew. So it is all one piece. So that works really well. Okay, let me swap over so you guys can see my face instead. Because that might be a little bit easier. That might be easier. Okay. What do you guys think? Let's see. Where am I at? I'm done sewing for tonight. Oh no! Carrie sewed another one upside down. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I think it's the way you're set up. Yeah, it's, I don't know why Nightbot is not picking up that when it should be, but I have another way to go about it, but then I have to clear a whole bunch of other things, and I really do better with dual monitors with that, and I don't have dual monitors set up right now. So it's a little bit harder to do. If I make the same mistake twice, then it's time to up. Yeah, I hear you on that, Zaza. Absolutely. Oh, you're so welcome, guys. You're so welcome. So look for a whole bunch more of these little 3-inch stars coming up soon, because I am going to be making a ton of them for going around that panel. So I'm not going to tell you how many I'm making, because that is part of the beauty of the design of this one, is you guys are really going to see the sentiment behind it once I get it all together. But you'll probably see me making some more of those. So thank you all for being here. I am so glad you all came in spite of my dog barking at the delivery driver knocking on the door, in spite of the snafu with technology tonight, not showing everything that it was supposed to show, and in spite of your own sewing snafus for the night as well. I'm so glad you guys were here. So thank you. Do you alone sew the panel quilt or is it a group effort? If I have a whole lot of other people here to help me, then I can absolutely have people help me. I don't have anybody that is hanging out to help me, so it'll probably be just me, unfortunately. But that's okay. That's okay. There's been worse times than that, where I'm even checked out. Oh, yes, absolutely, Judy. And Judy as well. Hey, Dre, welcome in. Glad you're here. So, guys, I will be live on Friday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. If you have not signed up for the retreat, there is a link in the description box to get you over to the retreat sign up. You won't get a confirmation email. You will just get an email Friday night late after the live with Sean. So you'll see your email then. And I'm thinking with as many people as we have signed up, if everybody does show up all at the same time, we will do some breakout rooms so that we can keep the conversation going and nobody feels lost or overwhelmed. Try not to get too distracted. I know! Distracted. Yeah, I'm going to have to practice that one. Distracted. Yeah, I love that. I love it. It's so funny. Hordes and distracted. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, guys, I love it. So if you've not petted some fabric, go pet some fabric. If you are struggling with your sewing tonight, don't sew another stitch unless you just are ready to. Hey, Pam, welcome in. Hey, Denise, good to see you too. Good to see you too. So guys, if you just came in, you're just at the tail end of everything. So there's going to be a replay. Go watch the replay. If you've not signed up for the retreat, go sign up for the retreat if you want to come and come hang out with all of us. You can leave a super thanks to join the super chat raffle. If you are missing my lives, you can still join with a super thanks. So you are still good to go that way. And I will see you guys Friday night for Fantastic Fridays. Don't forget to show up. Sean will be here and we're going to have a blast. So until then, go pet some fabric, get some smiles in, get that warm fuzzy feeling, and I will see you next time.